Thanks for having us today.
Sure. Yeah. So I think that everybody's here.
Yeah. Jennifer, what's up? You guys want to sit?
Special day today.
Yeah.
Very timely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we will start with the introduction of the team. And then I think that it will be wise for us to share a little bit of who we are, what we do here, and why it's so timely today to meet.
Yeah.
If you have any other agenda, we will be more than happy. We're military trained to change agenda while we're talking.
We're really just here to listen and a little bit. I know the press will be asking us a little bit what we're doing in City Hall, and we are putting some things in place. So certainly we'd love to get your input, what's going on. So, and we're joined by City Councilor Josh Sagan's with us as well today. So, and Lauren Jones from the Mayor's Office of Economic Development, obviously, and Jennifer from the Mayor's Office, and Emma from the Mayor's Office.
Okay, let's start.
Sure. My name is Sam Curry. I am Chief Product Officer here at Cybereason. I've been in security for about 25 years, and some major brands in the area, companies like ours and such over the years.
Scott Ward, I'm the Chief Financial Officer at Cybereason.
Emmy Linder, VP Strategy and Growth.
Mike Volpe, I'm the Chief Marketing Officer.
Andy Byron, Chief Revenue Officer.
We're good, right?
Lauren Jones, Director of
Yeah.
Business Strategy in the Mayor's Office for Economic Development.
City Councilor
Yeah.
Josh Sagan. I met many of you at your
Yeah.
office opening here a few months ago. Glad to be back.
Jennifer Marina, Mayor's Staff.
I'm Robert Tress, I'm a director at the Anti-Defamation League in Boston.
I'm O'Reilly, Mayor's Staff.
I'm Alex Goldstein, CEO of 90 West and an advisor to Cybereason.
Perfect. Let's rock and roll. So I think that we will start a little bit of who we are, how we started the company, and then how it's progressed to be here. So Cybereason, basically, a little bit about my personal background. So I'm Lior Div, the CEO and co-founder of Cybereason. I started my career in the Army in Tel Aviv. I was part of the 8200. This is the equivalent to the NSA here. I spent 6 years there as an officer, received the Medal of Honor, and left the Army in 2001. A few years later, I joined the government agency that is equivalent to the CIA here, the Mossad. I spent there another 6 years. And for us, 2010, when the attack on the nuclear facility in Iran became public, named Stuxnet, that was the day that we knew that the world is going to change. And the past couple of days, it's like shows us that this problem is just growing and not becoming less. Basically in 2012, me and my two co-founders, we decided to establish Cybereason. The idea behind Cybereason was that the world will change, and as I said, it is changing right now. And the idea was that in one hand there is IT security phenomena, meaning that you need to put controls in order to block from people to go in, but from our offensive cybersecurity background, we know that if somebody wants to go in, they will be able to do that. And then the question how you deal with it once they are in. And basically we said, okay, let's invent something new that will work under the assumption that the bad guys will be able to go in. And then we need to find them, block them almost immediately. So the easiest way to think about it is how to protect against terrorism. In the physical world, that's the same thing that's happening right now in the cyber world. A little bit bio about the company itself. Right now, Cybereason is about 300 people, separated between 4 different places. The R&D and the research is in Tel Aviv. We have more than 100 people there. Here in Boston, this is basically the headquarters of the company, the senior management, and every big decision is made here. We moved here from almost 0 2 years ago to, I don't know how much to 150 and counting. Meaning the cadence that we're growing, we moved to this office half a year ago, and right now we need to move again. So right now the cadence of adding more people to the Cybereason forces is enormous. We choose Boston, meaning that I moved from Tel Aviv to here in 2014. We could go to any other city. We decided to come to Boston. There is many reasons. One of the reasons is the talent pool that back then we believed that exists here and not exists in any other places. Today, I can say that it's true. We couldn't grow so fast without the talent pool that exists in the city. I prefer to meet people face to face. I prefer people to come to the office. So this is just a proof that we managed to achieve it.
What's the average age of your new hires?
So the interesting thing, we did a survey. It's really all over the place, meaning we have a young people that graduate out of college, and we have veterans from the cybersecurity industry that worked for years, and really it's like all over
That's what I was
the place.
thinking. Do you need to get people that have experience in security and intelligence?
In some places, and in other places not. So it's like
Okay.
right now here we have all the way to this room that we will visit them. This is the expert in security, part of the continuum that we have in Tel Aviv. So usually it's like relatively young guys that serve in the NSA or other places. And we have marketing that, again, can be young people all the way to other departments that we have basically all over. So it's like I learned a new word when I moved to here, to Boston. The word was diversity. For my point of view, it was something that it's obvious because in Tel Aviv office we managed to achieve 50-50 men and women and everything. This is basically what I'm trying to do here. I will argue that it's a little bit more tough here, but this is something that we're fighting every day. So in general, we raised 90 million, 90, from 4 different vendors. One is CRV, Charles River Ventures, that sitting across the river here. The other one is Spark Capital, that in Newbury Street. The other one is Lockheed Martin, the defense contractor, that invested in Cybereason. And the fourth one is Softbank from Japan, that invested in Cybereason as well. Our plan in the near future is to keep pushing this agenda and to make sure that we're growing and protecting more people. This is a good segue to the last topic. 2 weeks ago, we announced a program that we called it Secure Boston. The idea behind Secure Boston is to release a free tool out there to anybody that wants it to protect themselves against ransomware. We're very happy that we did it 2 weeks ago because this Friday the world shows us that it was first timely manner. Second, the problem that our Intel team saying that that's going to be the big thing, they're right. Usually, I'm expecting them to predict not in 2 weeks, in months, but even 2 weeks before that something big like this happening, this is like very timely manner. I will ask the support of everybody, and the anti-defamation team already supporting us, to push it out as much as we can. We're not making any profit out of it. We want to protect the society because we believe that we need to protect our home, and right now this is our home.
Yeah. Well, we've been joined by John Barrows, Chief of Economic Development as well.
Hey, how are you?
This place feels different without a DJ and low lights.
I agree.
Still great though. Good to be back.
So how many clients do you have?
So more than 150 right now, all over the world. The majority is here in the States. Another big chunk of it is in Japan, and the rest in Europe.
When you're talking about cybersecurity, what's the biggest? I don't know what the right terminology is, but what's the biggest kind of client that you see as far as what products that you're protecting or looking at? I mean, obviously you have government cybersecurity, but we're talking like what's the biggest group of business entrepreneurs that come into you?
That we protect them?
Yeah.
So we have everything from one of the biggest banks in the U.S. that it's a customer of us, Lockheed Martin, the defense contractor. They're not just investors. We are protecting them as well.
Yeah.
So it goes all the way from like the top 1, 2, 3 of the Fortune 100, all the way to small businesses that we protect them as well. All the way to the free product that basically this is not a part of our business model, we just give it for free to protect people, individuals. So just to make sense, The individual piece, we have more than 300,000 people that already downloaded and used and basically protected against the phenomena that we saw on Friday. So as much as people are using it more, basically they will be more protected, and we'll together be able to push out criminals from making profit out of it. So just criminal managed to generate more than $1 billion in the last year of ransomware. So we are talking about big problem that basically criminal moves from robbing a bank or a local bank with a gun to use the software. Usually I'm telling a joke and I'm saying nobody, it's like old school to come to say, hey, give me all your money. Basically you're saying, give me all your money. I'm serious, enter. I'm dead serious. And that's the way that basically hackers works today.
Yeah.
And on Friday we saw it.
Yeah, we really did. We certainly did. Yeah, the police were in Boston were investigating one of the calls, people hacking into people's identity.
Yep.
And kind of making those calls, threats about, I have your loved one, do not call them, do not reach out to them. They just caught somebody last week, the police, on that. That was a hack as well.
Yeah.
What do you think we have to worry about in the city? I mean, I know obviously we know the big picture stuff. What would you consider that we would look out for in the city?
Mm-hmm. In terms of cybersecurity, I think that
aside from the information, I mean, obviously information.
Yeah, it's not just about the information, because with ransom we see it's moving from, and the last situation was in the UK, that basically they encrypt all the pieces in a hospital. Suddenly the doctor cannot treat the patient. Suddenly the patient are getting basically not a good treatment. And one of the doctor published, and we can share it with you, that he is concerned about his patient life because he cannot get the results of the test and he don't know what to do in order to treat them. So basically the think about cyber is moving very quickly to the physical world. And it's not just about information anymore. Meaning that it's not about IT anymore. So the first thing that I will suggest is to change the mindset of that cybersecurity is an IT problem. This is not an IT problem anymore. Basically, every traditional crime is transforming to be using cyber as a weapon. So I used to say basically software become the new weapon. And this is kind of the way that we need to think about it. So it goes all the way from education to kids to what we are actually doing in order to protect.
So it's not just your IT department, it's your whole, we should be working into the whole culture of the city.
Exactly. So the police,
every
the
department.
IT, yeah.
Parks and Recreation, Transportation.
Yes.
Obviously the police and the fire and public health, public works.
Exactly.
Instead of having an IT, we start looking at it completely different.
Exactly. And this point of view will change the way that we're viewing it as a threat, because it's not, local anymore.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
So let's review what's happened in past Friday. Basically, hacker decided to hack. Or it's not just to hack; it's to rob people money. In the old days, they will go to a specific location physically and they will rob them. Now, what they did, they robbed the internet. They just spread this virus and waiting to get the money back. They don't care if you're, from the UK or the US or anything. If you're vulnerable, they will hit you, and that's it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, right?
Yep. So
especially you get into the bank systems, you do some serious damage.
Before the banking system, control the stoplights, control traffic, control
any utility,
anything that's run by software. And today, it's like everything.
This specific one, every system that gets hit gets every piece of data on it encrypted, and then you got to pay a ransom to unencrypt it. Right? And so it's spreading like a worm used to, like very fast, very far. And when it hits, it does devastating damage. So if there's a police system, if there's a traffic system, if there's a medical system, it just becomes unusable until someone pays the fine. And we were fortunate in the U.S. that most of the damage was shut down prior to it reaching here. It really hit Europe the hardest.
Yeah.
It could happen here very easily.
Does someone have to download something to do that?
In this case, no.
No.
No, I mean, usually we're told if you don't click on it, you're all right, and that's generally true. But there are some classes of vulnerabilities that don't require the user to do anything. They're rarer. When they happen, it's important to have some technology that can help either prevent it or detect it or reverse it as our own ransom proves.
The easiest way to think about what's happened on Friday is people were like the hospital that got hit in the UK. They didn't do anything. They didn't click anything. Suddenly, all the computers there, it's like non-functional. Simply put.
And everything is going electronic record.
Yes.
There's no more paper records.
Exactly. So now you are paralyzed.
What do you project the market to be the next couple of years in the U.S., given the scare, given the high-profile nature of some of these cyber ransoms, some of these issues?
In the criminal, so there is two business models that working here in parallel. One is the criminal business model, that actually the combination of ransom software and Bitcoin, the ability to collect this money, become a very good business model for hackers. So this phenomena in the last year, according to the FBI, by the way, I think that it's crossed the 1 billion.
It's crossed 1 billion.
Yeah, so it's like we're talking about massive amount of ability to rob people. It's not just local, it's just everywhere. So this is the business side of the house. I believe that the security side of the house will separate it into two segments. That one will be IT security like we have in the old days, meaning firewalls and things like that. And the other one, it will be more complete about the cybersecurity market, meaning how can I protect a company, a city, or any place in the world against things that are new that I don't know that exist. Okay? In this tool, which we showed on Friday, that we managed to protect people against something that we didn't plan to. We didn't knew that that variant will be out there. And this is using a new behavioral method of protecting. So we need to shift our mindset and the method that we're using in order to protect people. So right now, according to Gartner, this market is going to move from 70 billion a few years ago to 120 in 2.5 years from now. So we're talking about massive amount of growth. Yes.
Yeah. So when we last talked, you were already on a growth trajectory that was pretty steep.
Yeah.
Has that changed? Have your projections changed in terms of years from now?
Yeah. So I'm joking, but we moved from J curve of growing to I curve. Just going.
Wow. Yeah. It's pretty.
So this is basically what's going on right now.
Yep.
The block for us to grow, it's ourselves. It's nothing else outside of this room.
So if you gave the city 2 or 3 things that could help make sure that you are poised to grow as a company, what would those things be? I mean, I'm assuming talent's probably at the top of that.
Yeah.
But then besides talent, what are some other things?
So I think that talent, this is the major one, and I'm repeating it because I believe that we recruited more than 200 people in 12 months. So
About 100 here in Boston last
yeah,
year.
and 100 here, local. We need to move from this office to a new office. So it's like,
And you just moved into this.
and we just moved. And believe me, it's like I'm going back to my board and say, hey, I make an excellent choice. I took an extra office. It's bigger than I need. And now I need to convince them that we need to do it again. So maybe I'm not so smart. So it's about the people. So basically it's about the people. More than just about the people, I think that the awareness, this is something that is driving me crazy, basically. The awareness is not there. By the way, it's not just Boston problem, it's everywhere in the world problem. So that's the reason that we decided to go free with some of our product to spread the word. Is it doing good to Cybereason? The answer is yes. But is it doing good to everything else and to the ecosystem that we are inside?
Yeah.
The answer is yes as well. So I believe that it's like a clear win-win situation.
Got it. Yeah. Thanks.
Any questions for us?
Your point of view, what is your concern about those up and rising threats?
I mean, I think, your company is hitting it. I mean, certainly, we are turned to so much technology. Everything that we do, we're measuring data. Our reporting from the public to us is through the 311 app. Everything is about information. Everything's information, whether it's our job performance, how we're going to carry it out, how we're going to do budgets, all of that information. I mean, I think that we are such a high technology, data-driven society today, as a city and as a country and as a world, that it's changing so fast. And I think that, when you think about what happened Friday, but when you also think about the threats around the world with North Korea, South Korea, Syria, I mean, a lot of what they're doing is technology too.
Mhm.
They're trying to figure out, it's not so much having the warheads or the nuclear capability, it's having that technology to be able to launch.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so the world is changing.
Mhm.
And I think as a city, we just want to make sure that we continue to stay ahead of the game,
Mhm.
but also make sure that we continue to move forward as a city. I mean, you talked about streetlights. We're talking about turning all our streetlights over, technology-wise, where we can actually literally have the flow of traffic move the way we want to have it move. That was unheard of 30 years ago. Now we can literally be able to sit in a room someday and kind of hit every green light in the city of Boston, could have everyone going at the same time. So those are the things that we have to stay ahead of and make sure we build a good infrastructure. We don't have a strong infrastructure. We're upgrading some of our computers and some of our materials now, but we're probably in 1980 in a lot of places in the city, and we have to get to 2020.
Yeah. So what I don't want to see is my city get hurt by those type of things.
Yeah.
So we are here at Cybereason committed to do whatever we can in order to help.
And I appreciate that. Yeah, you got to assume someday that attack will be on a city.
Yep.
It'll be on a city infrastructure.
Yep.
And maybe not in New York, maybe in Boston. They might think Boston might be easier to get into than New York City, but
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's really having the backup. And we have a really good group of people working for the city with technology, but we'll continue to build out the department. So, no, this is great. I know we had the press here because I thought they were getting an announcement. I don't think you get an announcement, but you'll get me later. Anything else? Anybody want to add anything?
Kelly O'Brien's here from the Boston Business Journal.
Oh, hi, Kelly.
Nice to meet you. And we'll speak a few minutes afterwards. I'd love to speak with you.
Yeah.
Great.
All right.
Well, I'll just add that we're going to encourage nonprofits to use this, because one of the areas that we cover a lot is just security for not just Jewish institutions, but nonprofits. So I'm really grateful that you're actually making this available. And, I think sometimes we think about the larger infrastructure, but sometimes it's the smaller institutions, synagogues, churches, and nonprofits that end up being very vulnerable. And there have been incidents of ransomware attacking these kind of institutions here.
So let me say something about this. We're committed to protect anybody in the city of Boston. This is basically the program that we launched, Secure Boston. With your endorsement, we will encourage people to actually use it. In last Friday, more than 300,000 people were protected against the attack. And we saw it live, morphing and changing.
Through your program?
Yes,
Wow.
through our program, morphing and changing, and we're still protecting them. So for us, it's a big win that we can, protect some of the people, not all of them, against this type of phenomenon. So if it's the police or any other department, we will be more than happy to train them, support them, and to do whatever is necessary to make sure that they are protected as well.
I appreciate that. Well, thank you.
I think what we're going to do, Mr. Mayor, is have you and Leora just maybe do a quick walk.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah.